Uh-huh. Whose hand? Whose hand are they getting out of? Oh, the fucking ruling elite that is killing people in the streets? Oh, it's out. It's out. Macron said, and obviously there's massive protests in France. I've covered it extensively. I've shown you video, just huge, hundreds of thousands protesting in France, shit on fire. It really continues to go down. And Macron has said he may ban social media, cut off social media to stop these protests, which, of course, if that were said by a country that the US is not allied with, it would be discussed as a massive authoritarian overreach. It would be like Putin shuts down social media, China shuts down, right? And of course, but with France, you've heard very little talk of this from a lot of your mainstream media. This is The Guardian, which sometimes they are slightly even-handed, but lots of times they're doing neoliberal propaganda. But Emmanuel Macron is facing backlash after threatening to cut off social media networks as a means of stopping the spread of violence during periods of unrest. Élysée officials and government ministers responded on Wednesday by insisting the president was not threatening a general blackout, but instead the occasional and temporary suspension of platforms. Like, I love the equivocation, like, oh, that's fine. Okay, you're just shutting it down when it helps you continue to maintain your authoritarian governance. That's fine. Like, that's the same shit. It's still a blackout. Now, of course, the U.S. has heavy censorship of those of us who are speaking the truth about so many issues. So that should also be called a major issue here. But the president's comments came as ministers blamed young people using social media such as Snapchat and TikTok for organizing and encouraging rioting and violence after the shooting dead of a teenager during a police traffic stop in a Paris suburb last week. We need to think about how young people use social networks in the family, at school, the interdictions there should be. And when things get out of hand, whose hand? Whose hand are they getting out of? Oh, the fucking ruling elite that is killing people in the streets? Oh, it's gotten out of their hand? Oh, well, that's bad. Let's shut down all social media. So I wanted to highlight this story because this is exactly the type of thing that your neoliberal governments will say, and it's largely supported by our neoliberal governments, even as we're supposed to be for free thought, right? For free thought. We're supposed to be for people being able to speak their mind, for protesters being able to march in the streets. And instead, you have these governments saying, oh, well, we're just going to shut it down. We're going to shut down social media. Now, the U.S. has a much better, freer, even-handed way of doing it, which is to just select certain people who are speaking too much truth and delete only their pages, because that is fine, right? Like my YouTube with 250,000 subscribers, it's fine that one's banned globally. There's no uproar across the United States for pages like mine and Chris Hedges and so many others being banned globally. That's fine. And, it's fine to delete my podcast from Spotify. It's back up, by the way, under the name The Leecamp Show, if you want to find it. But it's fine to delete mine, but it's not fine to censor others, okay? Only this comedian, only these type of thoughts. Basically, if you're anti-war and you're anti-capitalism and you want a sustainable world where, like, your children and grandchildren could actually survive without a gas mask on, then you need to be purged from the system. You need to be deleted. You need to be cut off. You need to have that stuff covered up. And that's why, at the end of the day, I'm on Team Yard Rock, Team Orca. # Team Yard Rock, Team Orca.